Yes, sir. The voice of reason is not here. Zoe Williams back in the building. Zoe What Morning Show Mondays on T Radio V. That is radio in TV. Can you say that, Jeff?
Radio in your damn TV.
In your damn TV.
You can't come up with that without being high. I'm going to put the radio in the TV. Now, I didn't put a TV on a TV because this TV here, the sound work, but the video don't. So I put the TV that the video work up here.
Right.
And then turn this one on and keep them on the same channel. Oh, I done that when I was about 10, 11, 12 years old. That's how it was going down. But the radio in the TV?
No, that's a whole new get down.
Okay, there's only one word. Forgive me. There's only one word for that. Radio in the TV? Milk. You got the radio. Okay, I'm sorry.
Welcome back. Dr. Mark was traveling. Jeff was sick.
A little under the weather.
But everybody's back in the building for yet another riveting episode of the Zoe What Morning Show. And I got to do this really quickly because this show is going to be crazy.
Bananas.
We've got a whole building full of people, room full of people, men, women. We're going to weigh in on such a heavy topic, but you know what I like to do. Books and then community empowerment. We've got a lot on both ends. So quickly, the books. The Rebirth of Seeds, my book. Go to the website. IamZoeWilliams.com. For everybody who has purchased and supported my work, I appreciate it. Please continue to do so. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. IamZoeWilliams.com is the website. Zoe what? Now, Dr. Goulston, get out of your own way. Most of you guys have been tripping over yourselves for years and years and years. And now here's a book that helps you get out of your own way by Dr. Mark Goulston. It is a great book. I've read it. I've enjoyed it. It has helped me. Truly, thank you, Doc. I appreciate your whiteness. Now, his next book, Just Listen. Another great book. Jeff Brown claims to have read it.
Oh, my God, man. I'm on my second reading.
No, it's a good book, though. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's all fiction.
Well, ever since Dr. Goulston has joined the show, he's forgotten all about all of the principles he has outlined in this book. Is that not true?
Well, that's why I say so little here, because I'm just listening. I'm just waiting for something worth listening to.
Now he's saying he's just listening. Do you believe that?
I don't know.
He's a liar. That's good. Another great book that I want you guys to participate, and it fits the topic of what we're doing. This is the Self-Esteem Workbook.
Wow.
It's an actual workbook, dude, and it's incredible. A simple, effective program for mastery of living or of liking yourself, conquering self-doubt, seeing your core worth, rational thinking, body appreciation, affirming thoughts, enlarging possibilities. This book is great. Glenn R. Schiraldi, PhD. It is a great book. I've read it. Man, it's cold.
We need to get a helicopter and ride over the ghetto and just throw them out.
Like military propaganda.
Oh, man. Just
throw it in the project.
Come up in the strip club SWAT style. Take this, bitch. Read it.
I got another one. Don't let your emotions run your life.
Oh, my God.
How dialectical behavior therapy can put you in control. Scott E. Spradlin. Thank you. Great book. I've read this one too. Very powerful work. I'm moving through these very quickly because it is very important that we get to the next segment because this topic is going to be crazy, man. Oh, just to show you, I definitely read the books. You know, they all, I read for real.
He read like he been in prison. We know that.
Could you stop? Because now everybody's quoting that. I've had enough.
Because that's the truth. How many books have you read? 712? How many? Who reads like that? Who reads like that?
It's well in the thousands.
Now, man, I'm trying to tell you. You only read like that when you're trying to keep people from raping you in the shower. That's something that's just...
wow.
Let me read. Let me stay in here and read. Because they raping out there.
All righty, enough of Jeff Brown. Community empowerment segment. Listen, I've got something so dope lined up for us right now. Anybody hip to neuro-linguistic programming, NLP? Yes. I got a sister out of the Bay.
You turn me on to that. What's up?
Who created a neuro-linguistic programming software download for reconditioning the low self-esteem of black people.
Get out of town.
It's called Black Mastery. When I tell you it is ridiculous.
Write this shit down.
Hey, it is nuts. She's on the line with us right now. I wanted to bring her in so she could tell y'all about it. Her name is Veronica Conway. She's often dubbed the secret weapon by her clients. Veronica is an award-winning entrepreneur and founder of multiple coaching companies, including the Black Professional Coaches Alliance, the world's first coaching organization dedicated to the transformation of people of African descent. Veronica, tell them what is up with this Black Reconditioning NLP program you have.
Hello, Zoe. It's great to be here this morning.
Let's do it, baby.
Here's why I did it. We have become so domesticated in this culture. Mm-hmm. And so if you think about a lioness out there on the savannah versus one that's at the zoo, they have a different look in their eyes. The one at the zoo is waiting on their next meal. And so when you're domesticated as a people, it means you've actually lost your ability to navigate the wild. And so when I looked around our community and saw that it wasn't our ability that got in the way of our, being effective, it was really our mindset. It's how we've been, I think it's been psychological warfare out here on Black people. So this is my answer. This is the antidote. Black Mastery is a program that uses NLP and other modalities, like you said, to recondition and reprogram the Black mind.
How incredible is that? Where can people get that? Listen, let me just say this really quickly. If you're within the sound of my voice, you can hear this, you can see this. This is not a joke. This is something you need to go find right now, download, and buy right now, because our people suffer needlessly when there are tools available. Where can they get it, Veronica?
They can go to blackmastery.com.
Wow, that's it? Just blackmastery.com. Everybody,
blackmastery.com,
a neuro-linguistic. Now tell them about neuro-linguistic programming and how it affects the mind and the hemispheres of the brain and speakers and headphones and quiet time and listening. Please talk to us about that really quickly.
Well, but the subconscious mind is where all real decisions are made. It's where all real it's where all real behavior comes from. So if you can give me somebody's subconscious mind, then I can give you some behavior change. Wow. So if you literally uninstall the limiting programs that are in there and reinstall powerful programs,
you get rid of Windows 98,
automatically begin to behave in the more resourceful way.
So we got Windows 1865 playing on our mind.
We got Slave Master Windows.
That's right.
Willie Lynch programs running, and you can uninstall those beliefs?
Yes, you can.
Wow.
You can do it in 20 minutes with Black Mastery, like 20 minutes.
Shut your mouth, Ron.
No, listen, let me tell you. She sent it to me. I listened to it. It's ridiculous. Not ridiculous. You have to take dick out and put cock in. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm just telling you. It's amazing.
Remammoth-calculus?
Remammoth-calculus.
All right.
Yes. Let me just say this. Go ahead, Veronica. Go ahead. Veronica, you had something to say?
I've never heard it referred to that way before, so thank you for inaugurating it with that term. I feel whole.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much, and I urge all of my listeners worldwide to go out and support Veronica Conway, and tell us exactly one more time what that website is really quickly.
It's www.blackmastery.com.
We appreciate you, Veronica. Thanks for calling in to the Zoe Morning Show.
That was great, Veronica. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
So now I move quickly on to my next movement. Again, I'm repping the Homeboys T-shirts.
That's fly. You got Heimdall on the front today.
And he told me how to pronounce the name of his company, and I just misinterpreted it again. The name of the company is Ramomar.
Oh, Ramomar.
Yes, and then he puts the T on the end, and it looks like Ramo Art, Ramo R, or
Ramo Mart.
Ramo Mart. Ram Omar. That's it. Ramomar. The dude is a high-end fashion designer out of New York. He's got suits and clothes and purses and dresses. He's off the chain. I want to see this man win. I want to see him win.
I need that one.
Why do I promote this guy?
Oh, that's dope.
Dude, why do I promote this guy? Because this guy has a clothing line that represents my mentality. This guy has a clothing line that represents the raising of black people's self-esteem. The only way to do that is to claim what's yours. He put what's ours on a high-end line of fashion. Come on. You got to support this dude, man. Again, go to his website. Okay. I think we had his website up. What's the website again? I think it's Ramomart. He puts the T at the end to represent the art. Ramomart.com. Very incredible clothing line. This dude is off the charts. I appreciate the brother so much. He was supposed to call in, but the dude is shy. See, you can't be shy.
Hey, shy Tony, you can't be doing that.
He said, man, I'm just going to let the clothes speak for themselves. And I'm telling you, he got jeans and all kind of stuff. And again, the reason why I mention this, I saw a dude the other day with a Louis Vuitton tattoo sleeve on his arm. Why are you representing the Italians?
Because I must belong to something that is prestigious.
We will kill ourselves to be in alignment with a level of success or a standard of success that we didn't originally create.
And that don't want nothing to do with you.
That don't want nothing to do with us. But we'll kill ourselves for Gucci and Prada and Fendi and all of these companies going, we didn't design these for Negroes. No. The Negro foot doesn't fit the Italian shoe.
Take your ass to the Crenshaw swap meet and get some Dickies.
That's all I'm saying. We have a high-end...
Dickies and Chucks.
Go deeper.
Dickies and Chucks. If you will notice, the Chuck Taylor All-Star patterns its felt to the Negro foot. It is low and wide. There is no Armani shit for you, Negro. Hey, leave my store.
When we come back, What Topic is nuts. We're going to populate this room with a gang of angry people that need to talk about something today.
That's a high pitch.
It's going to be crazy. So What Mornings? We'll be back.
Oh, that's why.
And one of the greatest tragedies in life is getting to the end of your life and looking back and realizing it was mediocre and it didn't have to be that way. The number one reason is people are unwilling to listen and care about what's important to the other person. But what if you could be someone who dared to care about everybody in your life? When you're in love, smoke gets in your eyes. But when you're anxious, you talk more than you listen. I asked my wife a month ago, I said, I don't know whether to have an affair or buy a motorcycle. And she said, if you have an affair, I'll kill you. If you get the motorcycle, you'll kill yourself. Go with the bike. Okay, so we're going to talk about self-esteem today. So one of the things that hurts self-esteem most is when you shoot from the hip instead of your head and you shoot yourself in the foot and you make things worse. The tip for today is, and I learned this, I was a practicing psychiatrist, and I hope you weren't on the other end of this, but when we saw people in the emergency room when they were out of their mind, we sometimes put them on something called the 72-hour hold. That means for 3 days we would kind of protect them from themselves. And here's the tip. Whenever you're upset about something, if you don't do anything to make it worse, which most of us do, within 72 hours, you will have a breakthrough that you couldn't have had the bad thing not happened. In fact, when I ask most people when they've had big breakthroughs in their life, how often was it preceded by a breakdown that was neither invited, wanted, or fun? Most people will say, I think most of the time I have this breakdown. And what happens is your mind is falling apart because it doesn't fit the reality that you're facing. And often what you do is you panic and you do things to make it worse. You go on a bender, you spend money you don't have, you do all kinds of things. And here's the sad thing about that is when you're doing these shameful things to cope with the setback, you then feel guilty and shameful and you miss the breakthrough.
Wow. We are a guilty people. We have been shamed by the world. Today's topic, another barn burner. It's going to hurt, but we must do it. The cursed children of Ham. I'm dark-skinned. An in-depth look at the effect of global colorism. If you don't know what colorism is, I'm sure I can, through these questions, catch you up to speed. Do light-skinned African-American criminals receive, on average, shorter sentences than their darker brothers?
That's light-skinned.
There is research out there that supports that light-skinned criminals get shorter sentences than dark-skinned criminals.
Skinned.
No, light-skinned.
Light-skinned.
Well, the name of the show is I'm Dark-Skinned. True or false? Light-skinned or lighter-skinned black women are 15 times more likely to get married than their darker sisters. This is real. Willie Lynch is alive and well. Do we perpetrate it more against ourselves, or does the system perpetrate it against us? Or are we just on automatic? Somebody call us now, right now. Are you an extremely dark person who's desperately seeking a light-skinned spouse for the purpose of producing a fairish-skinned child? You don't know the number, you better call it right now. 855-878-4652. That is the number to dial. 855-878-4652. How often have you heard the statement, "You're pretty for a dark girl"? For a gorilla-skinned colored girl, you's beautiful. Look up the word gorilla. Our good friend Furpo Carr, who wrote the book Poisonous Minds, or Poisonous Words, Poisoned Minds. He broke down the dictionary, every single word in the dictionary, to show its racist origin. If you look up the word gorilla, it's a Greek word, you know what it means? Some white man went to Africa, saw some gorillas, and said, "Oh, those are gorillas." It means hairy African woman. Gorilla. Dark skin has been vilified throughout the world. Why? Somebody call us right now. 855-878-4652. It's important that we have this conversation. Do you think interracial dating / marriages are on the rise because of the centuries-old colorism hierarchy that currently exists amongst black folk? Somebody's got to call us, man. This is a tough conversation, but we must have it. What are some of the more extreme religious views regarding dark skin color? You know, the Mormons wouldn't allow people or brothers to be amongst the hierarchy or amongst the preachers or the leadership in their church until 1978. And of course, Mitt Romney had to backpedal and act as if he wasn't a Mormon or unaware of that belief system. I mean, oh, damn, she left me for a dark-skinned nigga. Look at that. Wow.
Wait a minute, he high yellow with green eyes. So, you don't know him?
I don't know him.
I thought all y'all light-skinned cats knew each other.
Wrong. Does the Bible actually condemn dark skin?
Oh, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
What is religion's hand in colorism? The proliferation of colorism? The exaltation of colorism. Where's that picture? Please show the picture of Jesus kicking the devil's ass. We have a picture of Jesus whooping the devil's ass. And I want you guys to really look at this picture and tell me that this doesn't have some type of effect on our people.
Oh, I know. Jesus been working out.
Look at that.
That ain't the
Jesus is kicking a black devil's ass. Even Jesus' boxing gloves is white.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
he's working out right there. He look like
well, he's got a really large 4-pack in that picture.
Yeah.
So now that the questions have been asked, of course, I have more questions, but it's important that we do this. This is why I'm wearing this brother's shirt today. Who's on my shirt? Egyptian King Pianki, Mary Amun, Pianki the Great. We don't know about this. There's a book out there I want you to get called Image of the Black in Western Society. Go to Amazon.com, find the book, Image of the Black in Western Society. Why is this an important book? Because it breaks down the image of black people in 3 different volumes. The first volume, you see black people in Europe as the aristocracy, as kings, as noblemen, dressed as kings and noblemen. By the time they get to volume 3, you know what the title of volume 3 is called?
Oh, my Lord.
Basically, it's called The New Negro, and it's all slavery imagery.
Wow.
The New Negro. It shows in volume 1 the royalty of the Magi, the 3 kings who went to see Jesus, and they were all black men dressed in royal garb. We don't have this knowledge anymore, so now we're the new Negro who tends to hate ourselves. Well, I've set up the show enough. Jeff,
yes,
as a black man,
yes,
how have you experienced colorism amongst your own kind? Is it perpetuated by us more, or is it perpetuated by them more? Are we just responding to a sick system? Go deeper.
I don't think it's even a matter of quantifying it by who does it more as much as it is who does it and how it's more detrimental. And I think us to us is far more detrimental because there ain't no white man telling young black kids, Marquise, get your burnt black ass out that tree before you fall. And I had to take your monkey ass to the hospital. That's a quote, and I've heard it before. What we do to each other is far worse, which is why if you look what the big celebration was in the early 90s, how many of you remember one of my favorite movies, New Jack City, when light skin officially died? I don't even know.
Just keep going, Jeff. Finish your point.
Wow, how you gonna put that up there? When in New Jack City, light skin officially died when Wesley Snipes stabbed Christopher Williams in the back of the hand. That was
sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Oh my God, that is with Snipes. If you out there, what's up? That is the coolest scene ever. I dare you to go back when Wesley Snipes walked into that room and let that Rottweiler off the chain and start skipping that thing. Oh my God, I wouldn't got me some black baggies. I'm in the middle, but I got dark skin thoughts.
Wow,
my thoughts are dark skin.
Dr. G, talk to us, man, because you know your people created this for us. Please undo some of it, okay?
This is my ignorant white observation. Okay? There's something called the dark night of the soul.
Right. Suicide.
And I used to see a lot of suicidal people. And actually I had a breakthrough because I had been sleep deprived for a couple of days. And I actually went into someone's despair. And actually when I could feel that life wasn't worth living, and I actually told them that, they got better. They let go of being suicidal. But when I was inside their despair, I really saw the dark night of the soul, and I got to tell you, it was awful. I can't even describe it, and it was dark. And then you talk about the light of day. Who has been up all night, and it's been awful, and you say, and then when the light of day comes, whether you're black or white, there's something hopeful about that. So maybe there's something built into us that we associate the dark night of the soul with something nefarious, and when the light of day comes, if you've made it through the night and you get all these crazy thoughts in your head during the night, so maybe we're associating light with something better and dark with something worse. I don't know.
Wow, I hate that, but in a way, he's right. But as Egyptians, as ancient Egyptians and Sumerians, we didn't see it quite like that. It was more of a natural order. But we'll go deeper into it when we come back. I'm dark-skinned.
The light make you dark. The dark make you light.
When we come back, more guests. It's going to be crazy.
Why should the black man in America concern himself? Since we've been away from the African continent for 400 years, 300 or 400 years. Why should we concern ourselves? What impact does what happened to me? Africa was dominated by they projected Africa always in a negative light. Jungles, savages, cannibals, nothing civilized. Well, then naturally it was so negative in terms even realizing it. Because you can't hate the roots of a tree and not hate the tree. You can't hate your origin and not end up hating yourself. You can't hate Africa and not hate yourself. And you show me one of these people over here who have been who has a
one of our great princes to ever live. That's El Hajj Malik Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X, Malcolm Little. Y'all don't understand how important. You understand? They don't understand how serious this is. We hate each other and ourselves as a people when we seek to color ourselves. And it's not just Americans. This is in the Philippines. This is in India. This is in Africa. The number one cosmetic product being sold is skin bleachers.
Look, I weave my hair because it's convenient, okay?
Because it's convenient.
Because it's convenient. I don't like having to deal with new growth in my kitchen and stuff, which is why I weave the hair of other mammals in my head, and people say that don't have no effect.
Other mammals.
That don't have no effect on me.
So let me ask this question: is it just black people in the world, right, that have skin seasons?
Why do white people want to get? Why do white people want to get a tan?
Because everybody want to look like Mexicans.
Because you love us, but hate us at the same time.
It's
love and hate.
You trying to get back home? You trying to get back? You know you come
I'm
from
just
us.
asking the question though.
What's up?
Are we the only ones with seasons?
I don't care about the other
Light skin season, dark skin season. I've seen people say, "Oh, dark skinned people are in now." No, light skin's out. You know, I've heard that before. Why is that the issue? Somebody, let's speak to it. We have guests in the building. I'm going to the OG Uncle Bobby.
That's the man.
Who going to take us back to the past. That's our wisdom. That's our root.
Come to the well.
He going to take us to the past. How did they used to judge if you could get into a college or not back in your day? Talk to me, Bobby.
Oh, he going to pull it out.
Well,
I dare you. No.
It was called the paper bag test.
The paper bag test.
Yep.
What's that?
Well, they wasn't worried about your grades as much as it was the color of your skin.
Absolutely.
So if you wanted to go to Fisk University, in addition to your grades and what have you, you had to send a photograph. And they would take that photograph and set it next to a paper bag. And if you were darker than that paper bag, you
That's
would
your
have
ass.
a 4.0. And they had to tell people, no, that spot's not for you, not at this school.
Wow.
And I used to wonder, people used to always talk about paper bag test. And this was it. That was the litmus
Black
test.
people doing this.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It was a race within the race. Yeah. And there was an old phrase that we used to say: if you're white, you're all right. If you're brown, stick around. If you're black, you need to get back.
Get back.
Wow.
And here's the sad part: we are revisiting that mentality right now. I see it all the time. There's some clubs in this city that you go to and you get treated differently if you light-skinned it. La Louisiana.
Oh,
my goodness.
Over there off of Slauson?
You better go with Zoe if you want some service.
And
I've
Harold
been
and
standing out
Bell.
here for 3 hours.
Harold and Bells.
Man, you better be, a little on the light side now.
Well, let me tell you, we have another guest in the building right now, Reverend Paul Benoit of Greater Little Rock, BC, New Orleans. That's where you from, right?
That's where I'm from.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's here in Los Angeles right now. He's a pastor. Talk to us, my brother. Paul, let me just ask. Is the church responsible for the colorism hierarchy? Go deeper.
It certainly is the justification used in enslaving the black man.
Really?
Absolutely. The curse of Cain. Noah cursed Ham, saying that you will be cursed and serve your brother.
Wow. Yeah. So they use the descendants of Ham. Let's just go deeper into that. What does the word Ham actually mean? You're a reverend. I expect you to know. Go deeper.
It means dark skin.
Yeah?
It does.
Yeah? Burnt black.
Burnt black.
Kemet, right? Kemetic.
Means burnt black.
What about Shem and Japheth?
Oh, yeah, that's the other pimp game they throw on us.
Yeah,
we have a Jew here right now who can walk us through the machinations of the Torah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth are the triplet sons of Noah.
Yeah.
right? There's a new movie coming out starring Russell Crowe. As Noah. Now, what? I just don't understand. When we do the archaeological research, the sociological research, the anthropological research, when we go all the way back, they know those people back there were.
So have you seen the billboard?
Black.
Have you seen the billboard?
Yeah.
On the billboard, it don't look like Russell Crowe. It looked like O'Kelly Isley, the big bass, the big brother played for the Isley brother played bass. I'm like, man, the Isley brothers got a movie out. They don't even look like Russell Crowe at all. Have you seen it? Find it. Can y'all find Noah? Good Noah Russell Crowe billboard and see what that look like. Oh, shout out to the Isley brothers. See what that look like one of the Isley brothers.
How does the African American community come together by breaking the chains of psychological slavery? I believe that the Willie Lynch letter that pit light against dark, man against woman, child against adult, just the whole polar opposite fighting.
See, that's O'Kelly Isley right there.
Wow.
Fight the power.
Right? How do we as a collective say, we're not going to take your standard of who you think we are, your definition of who you think we are. We're not going to take it anymore in any way, shape, or fashion. How do we as a culture come together and find the collective testicular fortitude to be able to rewrite some of the negative things about us? Everybody gets the answer. Jeff Brown, go.
We don't. As a we don't. I'm of the belief of the cats out of New York. I don't know what they are now, but back in the day, the 5% Nation, who their basic theory was that only 5% of black people will ever come into the true knowledge of self. And what you have to do is collect yourself and find yourself and be with that 5%, and woe be unto the other 95. You can't even trip on them. It's people you are not going to, in my generation, maybe my great-great-great-great-grandsons will be done with this, but they won't be with me waiting on everybody black to get this shit. The way it has to go down is I have to find cats like you, cats like Uncle Bobby, and get with them and synergize there. Not go, I'm not going, we were talking about this a couple of days ago. I am not going to waste my time trying to save somebody who does not want to be saved.
It's kind of like what I say. People ask me, well, how do we correct the future? My answer to that is simple. I say, I don't talk to adults. I don't try to teach adults. I'm going right to the kids. I'm talking to children. Because when we get to the kids, that's when we can change it. Before we go to break, I want to get Dr. Goulston's take on it.
I think sometimes the way you change the world is one conversation at a time. And I think whenever you're dealing with someone who doesn't see eye to eye with you, I think a good thing to say is talk about the elephant in the room, but instead of attacking it or getting into a debate, say it is clear that we look at this thing differently. So if I'm a light-skinned black versus a dark-skinned black, I can see that we see this thing differently. Tell me how you came to believe what you believe. And I think there's something about drawing the person out where they can then maybe catch up with themselves. Right. Well, so-and-so told me this. Well, how is that working for you that you come to that kind of conclusion?
That is the knowledge of religion.
Yes.
But what you want to do is you want to draw them out into how they form that conclusion. Because if you're debating like this, there's too much underneath the surface.
Yes.
And there's too much, you're just not going to come together. But draw them out.
That goes back to the point I made last week, because I did your Dr. G's toolbox. Right? I did my own little tips. And one of them, the tip was, don't date your unchallenged ideas. So when you say, how did you come to believe that? Just the inquiry of that will challenge your belief. Just to say, where did that come from? How did I learn that? Was that born out of hurt? Was that born out of pain? What was that born from?
And there's a tip I give in the Just Listen book called Conversation Deepeners. So when you're getting information from someone, even if they ask you a question, don't answer their question. Think of something they said that had an emotional charge on it, and when they say that, say to them, say more about that awful thing. And what you'll see is when you talk to people and get them to open up that way, you'll see that the hands go from their side to when they get emotionally charged, and you say more about that, they'll say, well, it's kind of like this. Mm-hmm. And then after they say that, pick another emotionally charged word and say with interest, really? and you'll see their hands going up. Oh yeah, this is terrible. But what's happening is as their hands go from their sides up like this, they are opening up into the conversation.
Expressing, yes.
And so when they open into the conversation, there is a potential for fluidity as long as you don't get into a debate with them and then try to jam it down their throat. So when they're up like this, you got a chance to say to engage them and get them to sort of disconnect some of their conclusions.
Bobby, how do we fix it?
We have to take a number of sequential steps. First is to control the narrative. And by that I mean...
Ooh, yes.
We're in a position now where we understand these new platforms, such as this one here. And you're doing your part right now by bringing people into the studio that have a body of work, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of purpose. And we move the camera away from people who are destructive in their presentation of who we are. And pass the microphone to some folks that have actually done the types of things that make a difference that we can pass on in terms of images to the young people that you're talking about, because the narrative is important.
Wow, we're coming back. We got to take another break. The So What Morning Show is getting crazy. We got more guests. It's about to get even crazier. Check this video out on the way out. It's going to be nuts.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Even though I'm dark-skinned, like, I'm not black. I'm Dominican and Cape Verdean, and black people get on my damn nerves. I'm not even joking, because you know what, they're mad ignorant. Like, that's very true. They are very ignorant people. Like, they do not care about nothing but themselves. They're selfish, they're ignorant, and I would never date a black boy. I would never have a black girlfriend because they got that bad hair. Both of them. And, you know, it's not me just being, this is not me being racist. This is me being real. Because, I mean, we have him right there and then him right there. He's on a Toshiba when my little white homeboy is going to be on a Mac trying to make a song with me, trying to get me rich, you know? Like, not trying to be about something that's corny in the library at school. And I didn't mean to rash on them personally, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing something out.
No hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings at all. I mean, yes to Irving, because that nigga is the definition of a
piece of shit.
Yeah. But anyways, I like black people, but I don't really have that many black friends. I don't really like to make black friends. They're not anybody that I look to be my friend. Right. I don't really know what else to say, but yeah, I don't get along with black girls that much. Like, unless
do you see how important it is?
Wow.
To interface with the children? See, we got to talk about Jim Crow. We got to talk about slavery. We got to talk about all of this. This is why it's important when down in Texas, where they create all the textbooks, they want to change the terminology as it pertains to our history. You got to understand, black people's history is longer and more intense and rich than just slavery. We got to go back further so kids like that can connect to their core. You understand? So they can connect to their core meaning. We don't have social game rules. We got new people in the building right now. Let me just go really quickly. I just met this brother on Saturday. I had to put my hoop game up on him. I was at 22%.
Come on now.
And we had to beat him at 22%. But he understood. He was fouling all game long. But he funny than a mug. He's a comedian. His name is Deric Sleazy Evans.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, man, he's a cold piece of work. Hey, man, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
He comes highly touted. He comes via some family, I like to call it, because, you know, Marcus King represents this young talent right here. Marcus King is my homie. gave me my shot at the foxhole.
Shout out to King.
You know, he's a good dude.
Good
Billy Sorrell is in the building.
What's
Comedian
happening? What's
extraordinaire.
We here. I don't think y'all ready for this. The knob is broke, so they're not gonna be able to turn this back down once this get turned up. Just let y'all know that right now. That's listening at home in your car. Our knobs is broke, so they're not gonna be able to fix this once this gets started. So just be prepared. It's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you. Can I tell them what's about to happen?
Just tell them, man.
Look, man. The bottom line is we about to get right into this light skin, dark skin thing. I got some stuff I want to say. I mean, my homie got some stuff he want to say. Jeff got some stuff he want to say. Bobby got something he want to say. My man right here got stuff he want to say. It's on.
Wow. So it's about to be nuts. It's just going to go crazy. My question is, how do we heal the community? How do we correct this rift? I've been told, and Doc, you can help me with this, that the social programming is like software on a computer. It can be deleted. It can be rewritten. It can be modified. How do we delete the inferior software that's running on black minds, that makes us feel like we got to bleach our skin, that makes us feel like we got to chop 3/4 of our nose off? How do we change that narrative, Doc?
Let me throw something out there before I just give it up to all of you, because it's you know, I've been thinking about this light skin thing. I was thinking about what Bill Duke said about black people, you know, using all this bling and the fancy cars. Maybe the message, and again, I'm surrounded here, is
that's right.
So watch what you say.
We will kick your ass.
Maybe that message is, don't look at me, look at this. And I don't want you to look at me. And I know there are times when I don't want you to look at me. The times when I don't want you to look at me are times when I don't want you to see that I'm afraid, that I don't trust you, and that I'm angry at you. Because I'm afraid if you see those things, you'll take advantage of the fear.
Wow.
If you see the anger, you're going to get angry. And if you see the distrust, you're going to think I'm paranoid. So maybe what we do is we try to distract people. Don't look at me. Look at this. Look at the bling. Look at the tattoo. Look at the such and such. And back to your answer, I think the key is, I think one of the reasons I don't want you to look at me is because instead of developing something to truly be proud of, I have things to be prideful about. And prideful is not good. Being proud is great.
Man, he always, that's his point.
All right, Jeff and then Bobby.
Does that make any sense?
I'm sorry, May, you know what? You bring it, and I thought I was going to have to warn you that, you know, there's black people in here, but there's some niggas interspersed among us, and I'm not quite sure who's who. Oh, well,
I'm one of them.
Yeah, see. I talked some sense to Uncle Bobby, and I was talking to his brother. Yeah. These two niggas here is crazy, so you have to watch. I don't rationalize with niggas. I just get out the way. Yeah, niggas is different. Niggas is different. I think it's a red pill, blue pill situation, as in the Matrix. You're not going to save the whole Matrix.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to unplug those who are willing to be unplugged and let that number grow. There is no way, there is no magic pill, there is nothing, especially with the media being in charge of what these young kids listen to. Mm-hmm. There's no, I can't combat that. I got to find a cat that really, really sees a crack in the Matrix and go, you know what? Something about this is bullshit. That's your dude. You ain't gonna fix that girl right there that we just shown. Mm-hmm. She won't get it unless, unfortunately, she's kidnapped by the Klan. No, and need some niggas to come get her
until she's condescended at the job site or at school, at college. By white people.
Because you are whatever color.
Black ass out of here. What the fuck?
You are whatever color white folks say you are, because they make the biggest deal about it.
Wow. Billy, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna say I agree with you, Jeff. I think also it's a problem because this is a generational curse that we're dealing with. We're dealing with a group of people. This is all the crack babies who grew up right now. These is all crack babies. We are in the crack baby generation. These are all kids born 89, 90, 91, 92. So don't be surprised of what they and how they display their anger. Then you also give them a platform which they can hide behind. They can hide behind a social media profile now, and they can be whoever they want to be. So now we're not even directly addressing. You ever gone out to a party party to see how they interact with each other. They don't talk. They don't know how to talk. They have social issues, and they got to do it through the phone. It's a lot of passive-aggressive issues that could have been addressed by us and maybe some of our peers and our older elder people. They grew up.
See?
Right.
We knew how to talk to people. You know what I'm saying?
We know how to talk to people.
Young dudes don't know
They don't know how to talk
the pressure of calling the house and be like, and they daddy pick up the phone and be like, Keisha there?
Yeah, Keisha here. What you want?
No. First, I tell you what, young man, you gonna hang up and call back and
like
address me with a hello.
Now hang up.
My name, hello. May I speak to Keisha? Did you say who you saying hello to?
It ain't enough black men.
Now hang up.
And that's an example too.
Hello,
There's not
Mr.
enough
Keisha
black
Daddy.
men around.
Yeah,
to even
absolutely.
do that to another child.
Yeah.
No, there's not
Yeah.
enough men telling other men that's not your child.
Now,
to be a
Sleazy,
man.
stop.
I'm telling you.
On Saturday, you told me you don't like light-skinned women. Why? Go deeper.
Why? Why I don't like light-skinned women? It's just jokes.
You said something about their underarms.
Because they underarms are dog. You ever seen like them light-skinned women, they wave at you and they underarms be dog.
Hilarious.
It look like they put on brown deodorant. Or they had them look they had their little shorts on, or they bathing suits and their little under booty cheek be a little darker than the rest of them.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
I like imperfections.
I watched a lot. I watch a lot of porn. I watch a lot of porn.
I know it.
Okay. I don't care what color you are. Your dick is darker. Everybody's dick is darker.
It is,
dude.
And
your dick is darker,
That's
huh?
from Indian burn, though. That's from Indian burning. That's from jacking off so much. That's Indian burn. That's why it's dark.
No, it
yes,
can't be.
is.
It cannot
That's
be.
Indian
It
burn.
cannot be.
It's Indian burn. I don't care
My
what
dick
you
was
say.
darker than me long before I started stretching it. I'm telling you. Okay. I don't think that's it.
It's Indian burn.
No, but listen, scientifically it is proven that all genital areas have more melanin in them. Naturally.
Light-skinned women have dog coochie areas.
Yes, Lord.
They mouth look like the side of a pit bull mouth. That's what it look like. You put,
oh, no.
Wow,
you pull them coochie look like a pit bull mouth on the corner.
Yeah.
My God. I know we making fun.
No.
I know we making fun.
Like a brindle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a brindle.
Like a chow, it's like a chow tongue. That's what it is. The inside is like a chow tongue.
Girl, put your girl, them shorts is too short. Your chow tongue is showing.
Let me go back. Let me go back.
Sorry, Reverend, that's just funny.
Let me go.
Chow.
Okay, wait a minute.
Sorry.
Let me go back to Wisdom. Wisdom, please wrap us up right here for this next break.
Well, I had mentioned models of possibility on a show I did recently. What men have done, men can do. Marcus Garvey echoed those sentiments before he left this planet. And I was just sitting here thinking that most people listening to this show don't even know who Marcus Garvey is.
Damn shame.
And because they don't know, the bar is lower. This Thursday, actually Wednesday, a good friend of mine, Emmy Award-winning actor by the name of Keith David, lots of people that watch this show, they know him. He's recreating the life of Paul Robeson. And that name is one, anybody listening to this show needs to look up. You want to know who Superman really is?
Paul Robeson, baby.
He was Paul Robeson. And he was darker than anybody in this room. So what we have to do is change the narrative and move the camera to who we really are.
Wow. Yo, we about to take a quick break, but when we come back, the cursed children of Ham. I'm dark-skinned.
I'm one of them.
It's crazy. When we come back, more questions, more guests, more information. We doing it. Holla!
How he has a rap career is beyond me. I don't get it. And he takes his shirt off. Oh my God, he looks like 50 pounds of chewed Tootsie Rolls with his... All right. Now, you are in white fashion. You know white boys always leave the house like they're finna help somebody move. To enlist and defend the horrible hoes. There are some horrible people. And what you need to do is start policing your own. Today, and this is what I'm going to do. I am going to stop talking to Zoe during the week about the show. Because what happens is all the shit that I want to talk about winds up being... Are
you saying I'm stealing the show ideas from you?
No. Can I talk like we talk on the phone?
Yes, sir.
No, nigga. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying
is that we are so much on the same wavelength, and I think that's what I have to talk about today. Then wavelength. There is a reason that these people are in this room at this time. It is because there is a consciousness that is opening up right now. It is all around you. Black people more than ever are questioning what they believe. White people more than ever are questioning what they gave black people to believe. Start looking at what the hell, no, that's not really what I mean. Start looking at what the fuck it is you believe. Take a good, hard look. Ask yourself, am I a Christian because my slave master was a Christian? Ask yourself, why is this food good for me? Ask yourself, what does fat-free really mean? Ask yourself, don't put shit in your mouth, in your mind, in your vaginas, in your buttholes, without asking yourself, what is this really? What is this really? When you say nothing, wife, girlfriend, spouse, what do you mean really? Do you really mean nothing is wrong with you? Or do you want me to follow you along on this, you gonna say this, so I'm gonna do that bullshit game? Why am I really with you? In the words of Corey Holcomb, am I really with you just until I get my shit together? Or is this forever? Start questioning every fucking thing.
Good point.
Question it all.
Intellectual rant brought to you by Jeff Brown. So let's get back to the topic.
And diet soda.
Hysterical. Let's get back to the topic, which was still on the topic and is very important. What do you think Hollywood and the entertainment industry's role is in the continuing of the curse of colorism? Every time I turn on the Discovery Channel and they doing something on Egypt, there's some dusty, sandy diet niggas playing the role of Egyptian pharaohs.
Light-skinned.
Why is it, Kemet, the word Egypt, Greek, Egyptos, land of burnt faces.
Burnt faces.
Right? Kemet, black skin. Cam, alchemy,
Chemistry.
the black, chemistry. All of that is talking about blackness, but yet when they are depicted in those television roles, is Hollywood upholding a racist lie about the reality of who these people were? Let's go
British
deeper.
accents.
You want to hear something?
Yes, I want to hear something.
I'm going to give you something real. First of all, the first people over there is the same color that guy on your shirt, first and foremost. And the reason why those Arabic people over there and those people in that land are lighter skinned, they were the conquerors. They were the last people came through there, tore it up, and took it and tore the pyramids up. And when they built their mosques, was what they tore off the pyramids.
And if they wasn't making money off the pyramids, they would have tore them down.
They would have tore them down. But check this out, too. They wear all those robes. You go look at any picture of the Egyptians, all they wore was their robe. I mean, all they had was the gown. They wear all that stuff because they are lighter than us. They get sunburned and they protecting themselves from that sand. So these women have to wear that and all that. They really protecting themselves from the sun. That was not our original dress. We was naked over there because it was hot and we were dark. And the sun protected us. They over there with all the protection on. You don't have to wear all that protection. If you from the earth, why you got to protect yourself from the earth? We don't have to protect ourselves from the earth. They have to protect themselves. We stand in the sun. You go anywhere in Ethiopia, Somalia, them black brothers are in the sun.
Sound like you talking to Dr. Mark
Yeah,
Olston.
they are in the sun.
Answer him, Doc.
The dark skin, light skin thing. One of my favorite speakers was a dark skinned guy, man. Rest in peace. You know, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, man. A lot of people didn't like him, but
Khalid Muhammad.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Strong. He knew what he was talking about.
I actually met Dr. Khalid Muhammad in L.A., and it was interesting because he had broken off from the nation. He had a beef with Farrakhan.
Shaka Khan.
And we keep doing that. We keep breaking off into all of these factions, and it just gets to the point where we have to look at how do we pull this thing back together. At the end of the day, there's only one race. It's the human race.
Yes.
Because ain't nobody on this planet that was born is not going to die. All right, but between those two periods of birth and death, you know, we get torn into all these different directions. This black, dark skin, light skin thing is problematic again because we don't really understand the narrative. Ida B. Wells. Some of us know who she is and what she represented. All right. Everybody knows about the so-called mother of the civil rights movement, Miss Parks, right? I was talking to Sister Merle Evers the other day, and I'm so proud. I'm not just dropping names. These are people that I know. And that sister, for 40 years, fought for justice. And if you really knew more about people like Merle Evers and Ida B. Wells, we transcend this color issue. It comes down to achievement and accomplishment, because that's what people are favored with.
That's good. That's achievement and accomplishment.
You know, I want to say something, because we were talking about...
You just going to butt in?
Yeah.
Well, he's white. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can throw me to the curb.
Yes, the white man.
We're talking about...
I just want to say something.
How do we influence young kids? How do we get people, you know, when you see determination, it's a thing of beauty. I think when you see anger, it's kind of distracting. And so how do we get young people to be impressed by determination? You know, when you watch the Lakers, and they're without a lot of people now,
right?
But they were determined. They beat Oklahoma City last night. But when you see determination, how do you get people to sort of want to do that as opposed to just being angry? Bobby,
answer it.
You show it to them. You carpet bomb them with it. I mean, we're inundated with these other messages, you know.
Like what?
Like, you know, education not important. Get rich or die trying. And then it becomes the fashion. It becomes the norm. So we have to reverse the narrative and just saturate young people with achievement and accomplishment-based information.
Bobby, that's such a great point. But we have to refine what achievement is. Because achievement, what is considered the American dream, is established by white people.
I was just thinking that.
Our definition of achievement isn't an internal production. So we have to redefine it. Because when I hear the Bill Cosbys of the world, education, 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 what they're really saying is assimilation. They're not really saying knowledge of self-education. They're saying
learn this.
Learn this. Incorporate yourself into an economy, and then we look at that as achievement. When you know yourself, that's when you've arrived. We'll never arrive if all of our definitions of achievement and success and even education is in the hands and defined by someone who really just wants us as debt slaves. Go.
I actually did an NAACP function with a cat by the name of Kevin Powell, who used to be on MTV. Very deep brother. And he said something that brought myself and other brothers there to tears. He said that black men have no idea what a successful, true black man looks like. Any black man that you see that is successful is a bastardized version of what a successful European white man looks like. You don't know what it's like to kill the biggest elephant and bring it to your village.
Listen, guys, I got something big. We got somebody from across the pond who calls in. A brother named Andre from London is on the line right now. Dre, holla at me, man.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Long time, first time. How you doing?
That's good, man. I'm good. I'm good. You from England, but it sounds like your ancestry is Jamaican. Can you talk to me about how Jamaicans view colorism, light skin, dark skin? I hear that it's a big problem over there too. Let's go.
Well, first off, I'm not exactly Jamaican. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Guyana, a little country not far
West
away
Indies.
from Jamaica. Yeah, from the West Indies. Yeah. Well, the thing is, colorism plays a great deal in most of the Caribbean, and there's this belief that the lighter you are, is the better you are, the better you're treated, and it actually shows true. It shines true. People are bleaching themselves, and doing all the crazy stuff. Man, I am completely sick and tired of the idiocy that I see goes on. And the funny thing is, something I've always said to foreigners, is that whatever you do in the United States, in England, and in Europe, and all these, whatever you do, Americans more so, it actually reflects through the television and all these mediums, and people actually soak it up.
You know what?
And
Dre, hold on 1 second, brother. Hold on 1 second. I have to repeat what you just said because it was breaking up a little. He said the power of African Americans in America dictates what the rest of black people in the world do. So if we bleaching our hair, if we're bleaching our skin, if we're living up to a Europeanized, a Negropean look, the rest of the world will do that too. Is that what you're saying, Dre?
That's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
So we got the power to start a revolution.
What I have to say.
Go ahead, Dre. We listening.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at your antics on the screen as well. What I want to say to most African Americans, to African Americans in general, is that you people have no idea the power you have and the influence you have on the rest of the so-called third world. You know, whatever you do is being copied and carbon copied and followed by many. And the worst thing is, when you show the negative, that is all people, that is all that's being shown on television. And I understand what the whole, the agenda is with the television and all these kind of BS, but we have to remember that people soak up all the negative, and it is difficult to actually teach someone, when they're learning all this negative nonsense. It's very, very, very negative, difficult to actually erase and reprogram them from what they've already been given on the television screen. Television is very powerful, and you African American people, you are very, very powerful as well, but people take in the negative instead of the positive.
So let me just say this, man.
Yeah.
I got to move on, man, but I so appreciate you taking the time to call us. What are you, 8 hours ahead of us?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Man, I appreciate you taking this time, man. Call in anytime.
It's just 8 at night.
You my dude, man. I appreciate you. He's been following the show for a while. He's been trying to get through.
Yeah, but
thanks
you
for
said
calling,
like
man.
You call at 3 in the morning. Shit, it's 8 at night. I pick up the phone all the time at 8 at night.
Jeff Brown, let me thank the caller. You shut your mouth. Hey, listen to this record, my homeboy Chase Ski. Let's go.
I received a letter from a girl, and I'd like to share just a small part of it with you. Dear Lupita, it reads, I think you're really lucky to be this black, but yet this successful in Hollywood overnight. I was just about to buy Dentures Whitenicious cream to lighten my skin when you appeared on the world map and saved me. My heart bled a little when I read those words. I could never have guessed that my first job out of school would be so powerful in and of itself, and that it would propel me to be such an image of hope in the same way that the women of the color purple were to me. I remember a time when I too felt unbeautiful. I put on the TV and only saw pale skin. I got teased and taunted about my night-shaded skin. And my one prayer to God, the miracle worker, was that I would wake up lighter skinned. The morning would come and I would be so excited about seeing my new skin.
Which doll is the black doll? And which one is the white doll?
That one.
Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because she's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me?
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one.
Okay.
That doll.
the doll?
Damn.
Wow.
What the hell?
Are you guys peeping that?
Teaching my kids that ignorant shit.
That's just self-hate, man, and it's a cold situation. Again, we're back. The So What Morning Show. We're having a tough topic. We try to make it fun. You know, we cracking jokes, but the reality of it is black people across the globe have low self-esteem and low self-worth.
Yes.
And we have to be honest about it. That's why I brought light-skinned Butafora up in here. That's why. That's why Brandy is up in here looking all mochaed out.
Brown.
Yes.
I'm just saying. We have to really address this issue, and the only way to turn our community around is to have this type of no-holds-barred kind of conversation. Why do some dark-skinned people prefer aligning themselves with their Caucasian heritage over their African heritage? How many times have you seen, I'm Indian,
and
I'm Cherokee, and Irish, and Italian, and first off, those are nationalities, not ethnicities.
Okay.
Let's get that correct.
Well,
right?
okay. Well, I guess the best way to say it then, because people ask me about my hair.
You got the Rottweiler hair.
Yeah.
Waves.
I get some black people, some Indian people, and some Irish people got to fucking. And that's where this comes from.
Hello.
Wow.
Same here.
Wow. Light-skinned dudes be like,
I done heard
baby
all the hair. I done heard all the hair stuff. I done heard all the hair stories. But you know, to answer your question, you know, I'm just going to throw it out there because I've been sitting on this. They keep asking the question. The problem is I blame the church. I'm going to start off with that.
There we go.
Let's go on and get that out the way.
We got Reverend Paul here.
I blame the church. I'm going to tell you why I blame the church. Because I feel like a lot of it is where we misindoctrinate our women and lead them in a direction that takes them away from where they're supposed to be at in the household. It's not about them looking at the Bible. It's about them looking at their man and stop teaching them all that independent woman stuff, because the independent woman stuff is what's destroying us in the first place. It ain't about me being misogynistic and thinking that a woman is lower than me, but the truth of the matter is, look at any nationality or any group of people that are successful, and you see that the woman understands her place in that household. You ain't never heard a white woman standing up talking crazy to her white counterpart. Why? Because she know better. She knows the hierarchy. Now, I'm gonna give it, and I'm glad they're
here comes Brandy.
And I'm glad. So let me start it off by saying this. There's the first thing we got to do on top of that is understand that not any one person is all good or all evil. That is, we are composed equally of both good and evil. God ain't all the way good. He's evil and good at the same time.
Isaiah 45:7.
He allows the evil to exist.
I'm ready. I'm sorry. I can't listen to anymore.
Let Brandy. I
can't listen to anymore right now because there was something that you said that was so backwards and contradictory in what you just said. First of all, you went and said that it was the church's issue. We were talking about light skin.
It is a church's issue.
That is a church's issue.
But then you went on to praise the white woman for being the perfect example of how a woman is supposed to do.
I just showed you one example. You want to take it? You can go to the Indian women. We can actually go to different women in Africa that still understand that hierarchy. It's not about that. It's the African American.
Guess what? We're not going to talk over each other over here.
It's not going to change what I'm going to say.
Well, you finish what you're going to say, Brandy.
Thank you. Okay.
And when you do that, turn your neck a little.
I will do. I'm going to turn my neck, roll my eyes, I'm going to do all of the black things that make us the abomination of womankind.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So what's happening here is that you basically have just went in and said it's a problem with the church, but then you said you don't see white women talking down to their men. You just went through and said every other woman but the black woman is the prime example of what a woman should be, and maybe we should start. But what you said kind of sounds like it to me. Okay. And I think that maybe instead of putting the blame out there on everybody
it's not what
else,
you say, it's what they hear.
Look at what you say. Look at yourself. I hear black men all the time right now talking about how every other woman is the ideal woman except for the black woman. I know Latina women that date black men, and yes, they curse, they yell, they talk smack. They're feisty too.
But Brandy, let's do this. Let's do this, Brandy. Brandy, hold on, everyone. Hold on.
I'm just saying, don't come in the game.
Hold on, Brandy. Your voice is needed. It's important. But let's get back on topic.
Light skin, dark skin. I don't know where.
My question to you.
Yes.
Have you been overlooked for roles because you weren't light or too dark, or because you're an actress here in Hollywood? Have you experienced colorism with regards to casting?
With your fine ass.
Go deeper.
Fortunately for me, I don't know that I've personally experienced. If it happened,
she's too dark.
If it happened, it happened under my radar. I think I kind of fall into a very kind of good category for black women in
brown enough.
Yeah, because
not light
you're brown enough to be black.
Yes.
You know
light enough
not to be scary, and
wow.
That is actually what I think my reality is here, because I think when I go out for auditions and things like that, sometimes they don't want the light skinned girl because she's too light. Especially if you're doing something like a commercial where you're selling a product, because they want to make sure it's not to offend the black people, so they have to put somebody out there that's brown enough. Wow. But also that is still, I'm not gonna. I got smaller lips, I have a smaller nose. It's a little bit vanilla, so it works.
Wow, Whitney, we've got Whitney in the building.
European features.
We've got Whitney in the building. She's another co-host over on the Voice of Reason show. Whitney is light, bright, high yellow fineness.
That is me.
All I'm saying is, have you experienced?
Well, no, the casting thing. I've gone out and went to castings, whatnot, and it always asks. It doesn't say black. It says biracial. We want a biracial black person for this part.
Right. Mm-hmm. We want soft serve yogurt.
We need the swirl in there. Just like she said. Look at all the McDonald's commercials with the McRib is back commercials. Look at all those, and it's gonna be I'm the black girl. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm mixed. I'm a mixed kid. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
Both sides. Like I grew up, I'm a black and a white kid. I grew up on a reservation.
Are you biracial?
Yep.
Okay.
Did somebody try to fight you? Did somebody try to fight you because you had good hair?
Who's white?
Are you kidding me? Look, I have stories for days. I have stories for days. Honestly, in my family, I went to visit my cousins in Philadelphia one year, 15, whatever. I'm the only light-skinned kid in my family. Long hair, whatever.
She thinks she better than us.
She sounds like Alicia Keys.
Little raspy.
And then, my actual cousins, my sister was also involved. My sister is Native American and black, so she's dark skinned.
She's so fine, she's making me sneeze.
They actually shunned me the whole summer. I hung out with the boys and played basketball all summer because my family members pushed me away because they didn't say nothing. They didn't tell me nothing. They broke I have this brush, right? To straighten my hair, because that's what I've been told the whole time is you better straighten it.
Should we blame Madam C.J. Walker for her evil invention?
No.
Yes.
No.
Paul.
Absolutely.
Reverend Paul.
Yes.
Please address Billy Sorrell's assumption that the church is at fault for colorism.
The church is not at fault.
But you just said they were.
They have been people who have used that curse as a justification of enslaving our race, but our problem is that we've been miseducated and we just don't know who we are.
Didn't the church do the majority of the miseducation of the Negro?
Interpretation of the Bible did the damage.
I like it.
I have a question about
there are different interpretations of the Bible.
Okay, could you please interpret for me?
Yes, handle this, Jack.
The different, better, positive way that Jesus meant when he said to obey and be kind to your slave master so that he may see God in you.
Did Jesus say that? Are those the red words?
Okay, I don't know if they're red words. I don't know if they're red words. But somebody pretty pleased with sugar on top who has better knowledge of the Bible than me. Make how the Bible outlines and condones slavery.
Well, we're not talking about slavery.
In a separate interpretation.
We're talking about servitude. So you're supposed to be kind to your servant, and
That's
servants you're supposed to do a good job.
Okay.
Well, if I work for you,
the Bible
I'm your servant.
The Bible, come on now.
Okay,
if I work
condone
for you, slavery.
I'm your servant.
Okay, can we go?
So it goes if whatever job I'm going to do the best job I can at that job. So if I'm your master, I'm going to be a real good employer to you. If you're my employee, you're going to do the best job
No.
you
Slave
can for
and
me.
employee are two different things.
That's just
and they're different in the Bible.
Right.
And they're different in the Bible.
There were bonded servants, and then there were indentured servants. Those who were servants because they didn't have, and those who were servants because
Reverend
they were
Paul.
servants.
No.
So basically, okay.
Let's go. Wait, hold on, Jeff.
Oh
hold on,
God,
Jeff.
please.
I gotta go to the white man. The white man will clear all of this up. He is white. He is right. He is mighty. Now, would you say...
And I got the lightest skin here.
Exactly, yeah. Shit, I'm at the top of the pyramid.
Okay.
Again, would you say that racism is the world's greatest sin against itself? And if you would say that, how do we undo that? Talk to me.
I don't know if it's racism. I think it's
racism's okay then.
No, it's the inhumanity that human beings have for human beings. The inhumanity is so deep. It's so tragic. But something I was thinking about. I want to throw this out to the crew here. There's a difference between when people change their skin, the color. There's a difference between becoming who you're meant to be as opposed to getting away from who you are.
I like it. Go. Give me that. Give me more.
And I wonder if blacks don't know who they're meant to be. I mean, they just don't know that. Then what do they head towards? I'm not saying whites know who they're meant to be, but they may not have that same confusion. And so a lot of times it looks like, when you see Nicki Minaj, when you see them dressing, it looks like they're just trying to get away from who they are. And
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
Let me answer that really quickly. What is the name of the Indian GOP guy? Republican.
Bobby Jindal.
Bobby Jindal just wrote something amazing. He said slavery or racism would go away if black people would just act white. Now, we're going to take a break and come back on that. So what? Oh!
Mormonism teaches that trillions of planets scattered throughout the cosmos are ruled by countless gods who once were human like us. They say that long ago on one of these planets, to an unidentified god and one of his goddess wives, a spirit child named Elohim was conceived. This spirit child was later born to human parents who gave him a physical body. Through obedience to Mormon teaching and death and resurrection, he proved himself worthy and was elevated to godhood as his father before him. Mormons believe that Elohim is their heavenly father and that he lives with his many goddess wives on a planet near a mysterious star called Kola. Here, the God of Mormonism and his wives, through endless celestial sex, produced billions of spirit children. To decide their destiny, the head of the Mormon gods called a great heavenly council meeting. Both of Elohim's eldest sons were there, Lucifer and his brother Jesus. A plan was presented to build planet Earth, where the spirit children would be sent to take on mortal bodies and learn good from evil. Lucifer stood and made his bid for becoming savior of this new world. Wanting the glory for himself, he planned to force everyone to become gods. Opposing the idea, the Mormon Jesus suggested giving man his freedom of choice, as on other planets. The vote that followed approved the proposal of the Mormon Jesus, who would become savior of the planet Earth. Enraged, Lucifer cunningly convinced 1/3 of the spirits destined for Earth to fight with him in revolt. Thus, Lucifer became the devil and his followers the demons. Sent to this world, they would forever be denied bodies of flesh and bone. Those who remained neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race. The spirits that...
So I'm undecided.
Their lips got bigger all of a sudden, too.
Yeah. Wow.
It is, look. You want to fight somebody.
So let's come back. This ain't the only religion. This isn't the only religion who believe that black skin is cursed. Now, what I want you to understand is, when white people win wars, they rewrite history. History is propaganda. You understand? Period. At the end of the day, when you look at a video like that, right, and you understand that, say, Joseph Smith, who was the founder of the Mormon Church, was a Mason, And when you start to understand where the Masonic symbols and practices, this is all ancient Egypt. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to steal your religion and I'm going to make it evil. The bad guys in the Bible are the Egyptians, but everybody goes there when they're in trouble. Jesus is being chased after and he wants to be killed by Herod. Where did he go? Joseph took him to Egypt, right? Abraham in trouble. Where does he go hide? Egypt. Again, they have taken the light of the world, and turned it into the dark continent. Whenever you're dealing with darkness, you're dealing with unconsciousness. So that's where black people in society today are. We are unconscious of who we really were. We weren't just the Egyptians. We were the Sumerians. We were Xerxes. We were Darius the First. We were Mesopotamians. We were all of that.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
How can you agree with all of that and teach from a King James version, or King James based, King James bound, King James kind of sort of book?
Because God created all there is.
So how come you don't preach from all there is? How do you, again, that's not the answer to my question. That's a great answer, but here's this question. Again, how, if you know all of this, and you agree with all of this, and you nod to all of this, do you go turn to in that book? Talk to me like I'm 5.
Wow.
Because I do teach from that book.
Well, I
do teach that doctrine, but I give you meat when you're ready for meat. If you're still on milk, then I can only give you milk.
So, okay, again, another big question.
But if you come to my Bible study, I will give you all the meat you want
Another question. Who is not ready for what he just said? What calculus was involved in, look, everybody in trouble went to Egypt. Everything you see, the Jesus you hear about, came here 2,000 years ago, but the letter J is only 900 years old. The story of Jesus was told on the walls of Egyptian caves that predate Jesus by thousands of years.
Is he scratching?
Better put a disco scratch in there. Thousands of years. This is some shit I figured out I'm just working with a Chicago high school public education from the 80s and Mythbusters. And I got that.
I'll tell you like this. There was never a man named Jesus Christ that walked this planet. So I don't preach about Jesus.
You gonna mess up your money. That's what you gonna do.
I gotta
say that
truth.
one more time.
There was never a man who walked this planet named Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Okay. There was Jesus of Nazareth. But I preach Christ. Christ is the connection to God.
Now we're confused.
Christ is the connection. You got to study. We are confused because we don't know who we are.
I don't know.
We don't know who we are because we don't study.
You know what? I'm going to back up.
I shall reach for my sword. No, I'm not going to do it to him because he's a guest. He's a guest.
Unsheath it, my liege.
I want to hear the rest of it.
Go ahead, man. Just finish, Paul.
Well, the reason our communities are in such a state of disarray is because we don't love ourselves. And the number 2 rule is love your neighbor as you love yourself. But if you don't love yourself, how can you possibly love your neighbor?
But if you
don't love your neighbor who you see every day, how can you love God?
Here's the answer to that.
But Paul,
the Stockholm Syndrome, that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's true. Paul, let me do this. Would you say it's hard to love yourself if there are institutions in place that systematically strip you of your self-esteem? First, by not letting you know what your social game rules are and giving you substitute diet remixed versions of those game rules.
Victims of being mistaught. We are victims of misteaching.
So, with that said, take the Hindu culture, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have a caste system.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's called Varna. The Sanskrit word is Varna. Varna means color. The darkest people are on the bottom of the caste system.
Yes.
Varnish.
Who created the Varna caste system? Historically speaking, they say the Aryans came from the southeast of Europe. That would be Greece, right? And they were called Aryans. First off, if you speak Greek, How would you call yourself an Aryan, which is a Sanskrit word, coming from Greece? How would you already be called Aryan, which is the word noble in Sanskrit? They came in and created a hierarchy based of color, right?
More blood than color.
No.
Couldn't the Aryan word go back to some extraterrestrial?
No. Varna, meaning to cover, to envelop, color, race, kind, sort.
I'm finna varnish this table.
I'm just telling you, religion, in my opinion, right, is the reason we're in trouble to a certain degree. This show is designed to stretch your beliefs to a point where you can free yourself from something that has now enslaved you. Now, you're a pastor. I respect that you're a pastor of the Christian faith, but you got to understand Christianity is just the European remix of ancient Egypt. It is the Horus religion. It is the Osiris religion. It is. I'm sorry. No disrespect, but that's what it is. And if we don't know what it is, how can we then take a firm stand if all of our beliefs have originated outside of us, designed to control us?
You've got to study. Because if you study and you go back into antiquity, you will know that the Dead Sea Scrolls written by the Essenes, they're really close. It's like 95%.
Great. Found in the Qumran caves, yes.
Yeah. So, and then you've also got to go back. We talked about Mesopotamia. We talked about extraterrestrial origin.
Did we do that?
I thought we did, but we should if we're not. We have to talk about the sons of Anak.
The ones of the long neck. The Anakites.
Those who from heaven to earth came. The Nephilim.
The Nephilim.
The fallen ones.
The fallen ones.
Were they black too?
Let's go and get that.
Well, and when they saw the daughters of man as being fair and mated with them, that eventually
Genesis
led to
chapter 6, verse 3.
And that eventually led to lots of entire races being exterminated because of their bloodline.
So were they black?
They were not white.
So what you saying is?
I think everybody in the Bible is black, period, except for the sons of Canaan. We could go deeper.
We could go to the Hammurabi Code, and they describe them as the black-headed people. With the cuneiform, if you look at the translation, they're called the black-headed people.
That's right, Cushites, Kishites. I already know. Don't make me do it to you. You can't go there and stay in Christianity.
I told you to pull your damn sword out in the first place.
You can't go there and stay in Christianity, though. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a second. You playing games. You know more than you letting on. Ladies and gentlemen, So What Morning Show back in the building. Again, let me just say this really quickly. This show is not designed to answer all your damn questions. But what it is designed for is to keep you up late at night. It's designed to stretch your consciousness, what you believe to be true. Again, everything. My religion is, if you can't challenge it, you're not intelligent. Whatever belief you got, if it's not challenged, you're dumb. Bottom line. And that's what we're doing. I want you to toss and turn about why you believe what you believe. Because that's how you break that little embryonic sac and break through into the real world. That's what I want you to do. With that said, I want to go around the table and ask everybody to give their information because we want people to contact with you. We want people to interface out in the world, to know who you are, to connect, social media, all of that. Brandy.
What's up, everybody? You can find me on Twitter at Brandy McGee. That's BrandiMagee. Also on Instagram at Princess Wildflower.
Beautiful. And look who just came up in here.
Hey, at the end of the show.
One of the avatars. Yes.
Looking just paint her blue and put a tail on her. Oh my God.
Just looking. Just looking delicious. Where can they find you?
Find me. Go to my YouTube, Destination Love Life. Look for me on YouTube, and there's a few things there. We're building up the show, so you'll see some more later. And then also, beautycomeforth.com. I am the love and relationship editor there. Check out my latest articles, Dog Proof Your Love Life and the Relationship Detox. Check it out.
Dog Proof Your Love?
Dog Proof Your Relationship.
Wow. Dogs are loyal.
Dog Proof.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guards of the house. Okay, Dr. G, where can they find you, my good friend?
You can visit us at Heartfelt Leadership. Our mission is building a world that dares to care. Or you can come to my website, markgoulston.com.
Yes. Good stuff. You got to support Mark Goulston. All of his books, all of his information is very vital to your life. Jeff Brown?
Where can they find me? At the house smoking weed. That's where I be at. Or you can go to GB, at GB Funny Style is my Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Get some ringtone. Oh, my ringtones are ignorant. I'm going to bring some in next week.
Get at him.
Whitney! What up?
Yeah.
What's good, everybody? You can find me on Twitter, Miss Tabor, MSTABER. Same thing on Instagram.
Do you have a radio show or something?
You can check me out tomorrow at 11 on the Voice and Reason with Zoe Williams as well.
Hey.
Check that out. Facebook. Hit me up. I love hearing from everybody on the,
And they love you too. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And of course, the homie, Billy Sorrells. Oh!
At Billy Sorrells, SORRELLS. Just punch that in. Hit Google.
And what about your YouTube page? You got millions of views. Hey, what's up, man?
That's just the pure ignorance. That's for the niggas. That's for the white folks. That's just, I wear dresses over there. I'm doing it all because I already freed my mind. This is about me getting this money and getting to the next level and doing what I'm trying to do.
Hey, man, and he funny, dude.
And
he is
I
hilarious.
don't give a damn.
He is hilarious. And then the homie, tell them where they can find you at, big homie.
Oh, you already know what it is. Country boy, Deric Sleaze there in Memphis, Tennessee, man.
You still singing with Outkast?
Mm-hmm.
No, just Sleepy Brown. Go ahead.
See the moves?
But where they find you at those?
On Instagram, Deric Sleaze Evans. That's DERICSLEEZY Evans. Like good times. And if you own Black Planet and that stuff, kill yourself.
Black Planet?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Bobby, tell them where you going to be at real quick.
All right. You can reach me on my website, www.realmendon'tplay.com. I also have a show that comes on Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. PST, the Real Men Don't Play Show, rmconlive.com.
All right. Zoe's final thoughts for today. Part of it was said earlier when I said if you don't challenge your beliefs, you're dead. Tradition, by definition, is a replaying of the past. And what we do is replay the past. And a lot of times when we get hurt, it becomes a part of our tradition. How we cope becomes a part of our tradition, and we keep replaying that. You see, religion has done us in. We've been some of the most religious people in the world. To the life of me, I don't understand how black people would fight to be a part of Mormonism, right? I don't understand how black people would fight to be a part of Christianity. I'm telling you, our culture, our religion, our heritage is older than history itself. Mm-hmm. And until we come back to a space where our religion is self-respect, we will always strive to integrate and assimilate ourselves into institutions that are designed to marginalize us. We never question the institution. We don't question the institution of education. We don't question the institution of marriage. We don't question the institution of religion. Just because you like the institution does not mean the institution hasn't institutionalized you. You see, we'll quickly say a man who spent 10 years in jail has been institutionalized, but we won't say the same thing about Christianity. We are spiritually institutionalized. We are culturally institutionalized to be less than. And until we fight that off, we're going to always be in this plight, in this situation. Your color does not determine your worth. You are the fathers and mothers of all of civilization, of all of humanity. And until you come back into intimate knowledge of that, you will always be at the behest, the standard of those who have tried to cover your true legacy. Slavery is recent history for black people. We got to stop identifying with that narrative. That's right. So what? That's what we do every week. We close it out like that. Listen, if you want to follow me on Twitter at Zoe Williams, Instagram at Mr. Zoe What. Please continue to support every endeavor that I ask of you. It's important that we build from within. That's how we do. I'll holler at y'all next week with another burner. Oh!